What is up guys, in this video we're going to learn passing in arrays inside functions. Now in order to do that, we might want to build a function. So let's go ahead and build a function, void, and I'm gonna name my function dragon because I love dragon. And dragon's gonna have two parameters, int array and then square brackets and then int size of array. Now this is a function, and this function has an array and a variable, and in the body of the function we might want to have our for loop. So just focus on what I'm typing, and by the end of this video I'll explain each and everything and each and every confusion that might occur. This program is going to be very simple. We're just going to print out some arrays, the element of arrays. Basically what I want to show is I want to show the use, not actually the practical use, but how you can use arrays inside functions. It's that simple. So our for loop, for and int x equals 0. Remember, the first step was initialization. The second step is how much we want to go by. We want to go by x is less than size of the array. So size of the array, there we go, and increment, so x plus plus. And in the body of our for loop we can write cout array and our square brackets, and inside our square brackets we will write x and then end that line. So we have this whole function built in. Now I know you guys might be might be curious, what is this function? So take control of your curiosity and focus. So in our main we are going to have two arrays, int Samsung and with empty brackets. And I don't know guys if I told you about this, that it's not necessary to write in the length of the array. If you write 1 2 like 1 comma 2 comma 3 comma 4 and then you leave it like that and you don't type the number here 4, your C++ compiler is smart enough to know that if you're not type here 4, it's gonna understand that the array has 4 variables, so you can leave the square brackets empty. And then we are going to have another array that is apple, and the same thing, empty square brackets equal to sign, and within our curly brackets we can type in any number we want and however many values we can have, and don't forget the semicolon. And then in order to call this function that is dragon, we're going to call it in the main, but before that we can prototype this function. So copy this, control copy, paste it under your using namespace std with a semicolon at the end, and now we can call this function in the main. So dragon, and what we have is we have two arrays over here, so we can print out the both arrays simultaneously. We can also do it like use one array at a time, but our compiler is gonna use warning that int apple is unused. So inside our dragon function we can write Samsung and then the size of Samsung. So size of Samsung is 1 2 3 4, so 4, don't forget the semicolon. And now let me check for errors, and hopefully there are no errors. So if we go and build and run this program, it prints out 1 2 3 4. So it just printed out the contents of this array Samsung. And if we want to use apple, we can like type in here apple, and the size is 1 2 3 4, and we can add another like 66 and then comma. Now the size is 1 2 3 4 5. So now we can change the size in the main when we are calling the dragon function. Now if we go and build and run this program, it prints out perfectly 44 66 54 778 56, just like that. Pretty simple. So guys, what is actually happening behind the scenes? It's gonna be a little confusing, but try to concentrate, and if you rewatch this video or practice this code like 2 times or 3 times in your code blocks, then you'll definitely be a pro at it, or you'll get at least the basic idea. So what is actually happening? Forget all of this and forget all of this. Just concentrate on this line, dragon. When your compiler runs line by line, it's gonna see it, okay, include this, use this, and void dragon. Oh, you made a prototype. So I'll remember that you have a prototype, and I'll basically look for a function named dragon, and I'm gonna see what dragon has. Oh, now dragon has two arrays, not two arrays, actually one array and one variable. And what you have done is you have created a for loop, and then you have basically this print cout statement. Okay, I'll remember that. And then when it comes to the main, it says, okay, now you have built an array, okay, in Samsung and in Apple, okay, perfect. And now it says, oh, you have called a function dragon. So now it's gonna see that, okay, Apple will be passed into this array. So int Apple, virtually what is happening behind the scenes is int Apple and int 5. So Apple is pretty much passed into this thing, that array, and these empty square brackets, and this 5, the letter 5, is passed in right over here above this size of array. So this is actually happening behind the scenes. Or you can say that Apple is passed in right over here, and 5 is passed in right over here. And then in the body it says, okay, for int x equals 0, okay, I'm gonna remember that x is initialized to 0, and I'll remember that how much I want to go by, and I'll also remember that I have to keep on incrementing each time, x each time. Okay, so now in the body of our for loop, okay, I'm gonna print out array 0, so I'm gonna print out apple 0. So if we have this array apple, so apple and 0, apple's 0 index is 44. Okay, 44 prints out right here, and then end that line. Whenever this end line runs, your cursor comes right over here, just behind this starting of the second line, right here. And then in the next cycle, it sees okay, now that x plus plus is here, I'm gonna remember that x equals 1. So I'm gonna increment 0 plus 1, so the value of x is now 1. And then now I'm gonna print x. Okay, I'll remember that I have to go up till 5, and I'll have to increment each time. And now in the next iteration, I'm gonna print apple with index 2. Sorry, excuse me, not 2, 1, because our previous index was 0. So 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Just like that, it prints out. And remember, this is the size of the array. So this is the 5, and these are the index of the array 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. So what is that? This is actually what is happening behind the scenes. And I know you guys, you will be hearing a lot of background noise, but the problem is I'm recording in the morning. I usually record at night when everything is quiet and everybody is sleeping and there's no disturbance. So I'm really sorry about that. I'll record my next videos from 12 a.m. onwards up till 5 in the morning. So I'm definitely sorry for that. Please forgive me. And I know some of you guys gonna give dislike for this video because of the background noise, but I'm sorry about that. Next video, I'll definitely improve my next video by recording by midnight. So you guys study this tutorial, and I'll see you guys in the next one.